All right, here we go. We're going to now add the ability for our vehicle to show roll, pitch, and yaw. Those are the three basic movements that are involved in aircraft flight. The pitch is the nose of the aircraft aiming up, or is the nose aiming down? Roll, that's where the aircraft can rotate side to side. And yaw is where the whole aircraft's able to turn. Yaw would be like the rudder on the aircraft, where it causes the plane to turn so it'll face in a different direction. So we're going to need to create a script to do this. And at the moment, our assets folder does not have a scripts folder. If I opened up my assets folder here, I would see that my assets folder, there's no script folder in here. So I'm going to click on my assets folder, click this little plus symbol, and select folder. And this new folder that it's going to put in here is going to be called scripts. And we know that it's an empty folder because it's got that little empty folder shape right there. Now, inside of our scripts folder, we're going to create a new C# script. So I'll click plus and go up to C# script. And this is very important. You have to name it right now, instantly. If you do not name it instantly, you're going to have a big problem. So this one's going to be called Plain Pilot. You're sure about the name? Notice over here in the inspector, there's nothing there. I've named this script, and there's nothing in the inspector. But now that I've typed my name here, I'm going to hit the enter key, and that will create the script. And now over in the inspector, I'll see, okay, I got a Plain Pilot mono script. I can even see the rough view here of the script, that it's a public class called Plain Pilot. And this Plain Pilot script, I'm going to apply this script to my prototype 1. So at the moment, my prototype 1 is over here in the scene view. It's positioned just a little bit above my runway. And if I mouse down here in my game view, I can see that my camera is already set up right there with that view on my prototype. So I can see my prototype from the back right here. And so I'm going to take that Plain Pilot script, and I'm going to go ahead and drag it and drop it on prototype 1. And now it is a component on prototype 1. And I'm going to double click it and open it up in Visual Studio for editing. All right. Now, here in Visual Studio, first thing we're going to do is we're going to set up some public variables. And we're going to need, for our purposes just for this first stage, 3 public variables. They're all going to be floats, and one of them is going to be called pitch speed, and one's going to be called roll speed, and the last one is going to be called yaw speed. We're also going to need 3 private variables. And these private variables are going to be called roll, pitch, and yaw. All right. Now that we've got our public and private variables set up for this stage, we are, at the moment, we're not going to need a start method, so I'm going to delete it for the moment. Delete it. I may bring it back in later if I feel like I really need it. But we are going to need an update method. And in the update method, We're going to get user input from the keyboard. And this is going to be loading each of those private variables, roll, pitch, and yaw. It's going to be loading those with, is the user pressing either WS, A, or D, or are they pressing left or right on the keyboard? So roll is going to be equal to input dot get axis, and the axis we're getting is vertical, the vertical axis. And the second variable is going to be pitch, and we'll be getting the axis there on the pitch. And yaw will be set equal to input dot get axis, and the axis we're going to get is the yaw axis. That's going to get us our inputs. And next we're going to rotate the vehicle based on keyboard input. To do this, we're going to transform dot rotate, and transfer dot rotate. What that does is it takes a vector 3. It takes 3 values into it. How to rotate in X, how to rotate in Y, and how to rotate in Z. So for our rotation in X corresponds to the pitch of the aircraft. So our rotation in X corresponds to the pitch. So we will have our pitch being multiplied by our pitch speed, and we want to multiply that by time dot delta time. And that's in our X value. And I'm going to hit my enter key and tab over to right here. And I will have next yaw. Yaw corresponds to our rotation in the Y axis. Yaw times yaw speed times time dot delta time. Put a comma, hit my enter key, and we're going to have now roll times roll speed times time dot delta time. I'm going to put my terminator there at the end. You might be surprised, but if I did this right, when I go back to Unity after I save this script, when I go back to Unity, I should be able to make my vehicle won't be flying yet, but standing in place, just sitting in place, I should have the ability now to make my vehicle tilt up and down, roll, and also to rotate on all 3 axes and have control over that. So I'm going to hit my save button and go back to Unity. And you'll see Unity's going to do some stuff right here, catches up with me. It realizes, hey, I changed things. And I'm going to select my prototype here. And, if you just jump right in, make sure you save. What's my motto? Save early, save often. Thank you. So save early, save often. And if I press the play button now, I'm going to be like, okay, I'm pressing WASD and nothing is happening. I'm pressing the left and right arrows and nothing's happening. Why, Mr. Booth? Well, it's because we set all their relative speeds to Mr. Booth's IQ. -1. So we do need to set some values there. Now let's do some outrageous values so we can let's just for grins and giggles. Let's see if I put 100 and 100 and if I put 100 for all three speeds. Let me click File, Save, and then let me click the play button. That's not too bad, actually. That's yaw. I'm pressing my left and right keys, so that's my yaw. And then roll. There's roll. Roll's working pretty good. And then pitch. There's pitch. So at this stage, our craft is not moving yet. That's okay. One step at a time. You know, do you have roll, pitch, and yaw? All right. How to do something about that waterfall sound. It's very distracting. It makes me want to go to the bathroom. Well, that about does it. See you in the next video. I forgot to say, don't forget to like and subscribe. Oh, wait. I haven't stopped recording yet. Haha. Hey, don't forget to like and subscribe.